Abusafo yema makwaba Abodu TV so nie. Opanyi a wohu ni woye ex military officer. Na say oye military officer wakọ na homegye mu. Ye fe no Captain Sowu. Captain Sowu. Na opanyi ono so sa treason na yebeka ho asemi se ye bọ no kwadu so pese otu aban fi so no. Ya bọ no kwadu pen ama ye de na koto prison pen. Na mu no de ye ya wo fi prison no obekire mu na wa kire eni pensia o mo ko prison no de o kade afa ho ne de na Kwame Nkrumah pen so o se o ka ho bi no mutu Kwame Nkrumah efi ade so enti no Kwame Nkrumah soja form ye ku no no panyin ka ho bi no ka ho bi captain no ka ho bi yes o se atam no swapa but na o ka ho enti yenkoti nkomotwetwe a wone Okatachi Effah Mensa ediye ene kwanya onam so koda prison ye yi ni fi ho a ene wako na homegye mu yekuti captain emrasisia.
Actually, almost fini kro.
Almost fitu kro
ho. Because I think the last time I checked, and said Parliament is abolish death sentence.
I should think that law has not gone through yet.
It hasn't gone through.
Yes, I know say it's proposed bill, but then go through. Let me cross check very quick. Cross check it. Captain, what about you?
So, mental.
It was so.
Yeah, but at least the intention of Parliament is that they want to abolish death sentence. And yes, sir. That's the intention. So, if that is the intention, why is it that our courts are not being proactive and they have to still sentence people to death? Now, Kateche, in some prison, near condemned cells. How many people are there? The place was meant for only 14 people.
The condemned cells was meant for 14 people.
Yes. But today, if you go there, it's about 170 something people are occupying a place. You can imagine what is happening there. Now, the Biamiko died. I was in cell 2 upstairs. From cell 2, you go cell 1. And then you go to a place where they hang people. And then the PIA hang in Nipano. Adani cell, Nipa Daho. So these people that have been sentenced to death by hanging, are we going to build a new gallows for them? That's the one question. But let me take you back. What are they guilty of? If they are guilty of treason, which is against the Constitution, the things that are happening in that country and people are dying, is it not worse than a coup d'etat, even though we are in a constitutional era? And so, Katechi, then people of this country can understand the coup d'etats and the constitutional government and the issues are pertaining to people's rights being taken away in a constitutional era where people have died because their own money that they put in the banks have been taken away from them. We should have one-on-one discussion for about 2 hours so that the fundamentals which we have in this country that have gone wrong, we can put everything in the perspective. Because we say what to oppose the oppressor's rule. Yes, sir. How do you oppose the oppressor's rule? Touch them. So these people, what have they found on them? What weapons have they found on them? What people have they mobilized? What really is the issue? They came and searched me at that time They didn't find anything.
Before you best sentence you to death by no what by hanging or by what?
By you say bomb two na me.
Yeah, more the death penalty.
There might be death penalty. Say sentenced to death by firing squad.
And I don't know why you war muja war.
Hey, open out here, Papa. I should I tell you the truth?
Can you?
All right. And Karen said, me a Christian. Me bomb piper. Now one day, a radi yin who chire me. I say, Joel, you will go home tomorrow. Now me say, sir, why not today? I say, Joel, you second time, you will go home tomorrow. I said, why not today? The third time, I said, Joel, you go home today. By midnight, the same day, you hear me. Na me beki. Na me kasa.
Na Joel Kwame Sowu wo ye Kristo ni de na ma wo attempt say ku na before so be answer sa question no woni mo be a friend no Captain retired in Krabia Effah Darteh.
Minimpa be me ba.
Captain anobe mache. Captain on the other line you wanga say unu no so Captain retired Joel Kwame Sowu.
Is that yes.
Captain.
Yes.
Captain, grab your father.
I need the.
Okay, I think na ne we know what we say we answer waba. Na Captain retired Joel Kwame Sowu. Bia ye Kristo ni ade na kan wo se koyeku emi eduru ba bia kura no ye sentence to death by firing squad.
But yesterday they said I was going to stay Yaku. But I didn't say I was going to stay Yaku. Only about it.
That omuna se wo kwa koyeku.
Yeah, he said that what were facts? Can you know if you look at the facts, you can see say I wasn't guilty. But because it was a kangaroo court. So kangaroo court will say you are guilty. As that. Then no better. And a radi which is greater than human being. Or say, my son, go home today. And I'm home. I'm saying that God overrides everything. So if you are falsely accused, walk at a or maybe catch us we are for and all the facts showing that you didn't steal. Still, almost. I will tell you a hint and say make
and penimfo say wo hwe kuru hu ne anim na wa mane mu Captain Joel Sowu ye be ka kire say wakoye ku a na no 1966 ku wunim hu bi de 66 de no de tu Kwame Nkrumah no wunim hu bi.
No, I joined the coup but I wasn't part of the planning.
But who joined the coup na mutu Nkrumah?
Yes, because that time I was over 26, meaning the aircraft of Ghana. Then I'm saying that this conversation I have to have one-on-one with you. Now I'll deepen the thing. A whole lot of things. People in Ghana, they don't know the truth. They don't know the truth. It is only what is put on the radio, what is said in the media that is believed. But the truth,
but you were part of a year military no tu Kwame Nkrumah no na yesade Akufo-Addo aban ba eno so utu bi de
Akufo-Addo aban did you hear they say me pere me yaku
me ka Akufo-Addo ba ko nya de watisu yi ne papa na ban buzi ade no
buzi akulu
na aka ho.
What I'm saying is that this discussion, do you want to interrogate me?
Yeah, watching Minyayaka, Womunya arrangement, men know one-on-one in the studio.
Yes. Now, main country, the people of this Ghana should know the truth about things that happen in Ghana.
If you look at the current system, why you at the end of the manphobia bo mutrimu pose, womupese womukokoyeku.
You know, normally when they say cool, no, I think our mentality about cool is virtually wrong. Okay, here. Because coup d'etat, it means a blow against the state. It doesn't mean you have taken guns to run to overthrow the government. It's a blow. Coup d'etat is a French word. Coup d'etat. Etat is country. Coup is a blow.
So literally the usurping of a year to me not through the laid down procedure by the constitution, but the overthrow of the constitution. And when you could detail
what I'm saying is that our understanding of a coup d'etat is wrong.
Near introduce you Captain Nkrumah Effah Darteh. Captain Akwaba.
Yeah,
now we will be a friend of Captain Kwame Sowu.
Captain Kwame Sowu, I don't know him.
When him Sowu?
Oh, I don't know him. Why?
Oh, Effah Darteh. Twanto. Sorry, Garrison Methodist Presbyterian Church. Me betra wunchen na ebo nkobo. Before then, we are share in different places. Now, who name me? Who are Christian? Why?
What is a ma a year in Nipensia, a year sentenced to death by a year hanging for attempting coup? What is us not in what you say?
To be very honest with you, when you asema me Nkrumah Effah Darteh, my worried about cry because for the past 30 years in the history of Ghana, constitutional civilian rule. It is obi ekase opeso ye coup no to abanugua. Personally, I don't support him in any way. About 5 years ago, news broke out say Nkrumah peso muye coup na yachion. Ena nyame because of peaceful constitutional ruling. Ye domu ina kujina asenibia ewo high court. Ye di on asem ena enra ye bua omofo. Ebinum ye ja ebinum so ya convict you for high treason. The sentence is death. To be honest with you, before God and man, me Captain there, I find this so normal and so ordinary. Say, I don't think it is worth the time to.
You're so normal, Emma. Captain, you've had an encounter with issues of this nature before. At the end of money, normal, because I know history has said about you encountering coup matters near there. At the end of money, normal,
For me, because I am normal is because I use the expression normal because I'm a practicing lawyer. I'm a court. I mean, who said there be a binum ya charge a binum for stealing, a binum for robbery, a binum for fraud, a binum for this. The charge will be for treason. For me, it's normal. But as you rightly said, me in 1981, I was about 30 years old or less. I was arrested by the government of President Liman, military intelligence, and they go to some prisons, and they set the general court martial, and they did masem on the same high treason, but the military equivalent of subversion and of mutiny by the same level, and they did masem, and the way the law was skewed, the way I was not even given opportunity to freely defend myself. I was not granted bail. The court sat in a prison yard. A prison yard. That is why they tried me. And they found me guilty. First, they found me innocent on the charge of mutiny. But they found me guilty on the charge of misconduct. And in the military, in the police, in immigration, in all security services throughout the world, for the purposes of service discipline. there is an offense known as misconduct. It's a general omnibus offense. It covers everything. Even failing to salute your senior is misconduct. Failing to say yes, sir, to your senior is misconduct. Your haircut, etc. And Effah Darteh, I was convicted of misconduct. And they jailed me 23 months. And because of this, MPP in the year 2007 said that I have been convicted of wanting to stage a coup. So I was disqualified from contesting as a presidential candidate. But I have accepted my fate. Only God knows tomorrow. So I'm not worried about that. But to be sincere with you, I think what has happened is a normal trial, fair trial. Look at the long time it took, 5 years. They gave them every opportunity under the sun to defend themselves. And judgment has been given. But I'm also not worried because even though Adenaye, say your mom was sentenced to death by hanging near the end, they are supposed to file appeal. Nanyako will go before Court of Appeal. Our Court of Appeal will look at it patiently. And I think about a year's time, they may or may not confirm or dismiss the appeal or something. And then they might even go to Supreme Court. It is a long journey which has just begun. And I will not immediately say we should dismiss the case, say it's over. They are going to kill them. No, not at all.
And now, Captain, Wadaruma, Yakase coup. Why encounter be? What will be paying now? At the end of my young for a plan is Yabekwa.
With my experience in the military and what I have seen, Achampong, Colonel Ike Achampong, he said it openly, and it was published. Sir, when Buzia became Prime Minister of Ghana, 6 months later, he, Achampong, started planning a coup. 6 months. And finally did the coup on 30 January 1972. And I can for our proverb we say you do see Ohinea, Ohinea. The very first day, you be pajawasi a pompon. You say Ohineno, your friends, because either say Umuye you are too fat, which is an offense. You are going to create problem for the state. And I say you are too like Umuye Hare, which means you are sick, you are not fit. In other words, at any point in time, Obibenya excuse to stage a military coup. At any point in time. But what prevents the coup from taking place? They say Obia will confidence. Say, like right now in Ghana, every 4 years there will be general election. Every 4 years. And no matter how bad the government is, no matter how terrible inflation, no matter how wicked or insensitive the government is, no matter how corrupt the government is, 4 years. Now 4 years, 4 years. And check 4 years about, and then go and cast your ballot. But a government's been more, president's been more. Look at Yaya Jammeh. Yaya Jammeh in Gambia. Onwa wa oyeku eneba power. Watra konjwa over 20 years. After so elections are also onu watcha. He has cancelled the election. Who are you? Also, I cancel elections. No? So ECOWAS stepped in and removed him forcibly from power. Oh, a beautiful prime minister and now president. 2 million years or more. I think a Juma as a woman.
Captain Krabby for the day. This is a case I'll say every 4 years. When the people no any trust was our system no. Yeah, this system every 4 years no. Carlson's theory on ground norm say the overthrow of a system to create a new order. Is it not the case? Say, Ebiana man for years, every 4 years, be a Sabado Mohe, a choir, the first was Sanua. Woman will say there be Angrophobia hijack system, no? Eti ya overthrow a system, we Nian create a new order. Eti ne momu yekuno.
Well, whether you like it or not, the gospel truth is say you can always manufacture an excuse for a coup. You can always. Now, when you succeed, you can justify it. Say because of this, because of that, because of inflation, because of inability of the people to freely express themselves and vote as they want. You can justify the coup. But when you fail, then you'll be charged with treason and then convicted and shot or hanged and punished. It's a very dicey situation. Me personally, my recommendation is that we should go constitutional. We should respect the constitution. We should respect the constitution. And unfortunately, many people, they like soft options. Woman poster or better conjunction onye jumano or person basic from so not you na masem diane na
I guess if we know
oh
na ye no ye hwe kru ho anim ni amankrata ye ne wo wie kra no ye da na Captain Effah Darteh military ye wo ho kakraka yi ye hunu obi a na lima wo no oba beche wo obi ni ubedi nkomo bi ana bibi na ma ye suspect wo.
In my case, even tomorrow I'll mention it as a tribute to Boachijan. In my case, when the Liman government took power, the military intelligence made a scientific analysis and concluded that there is a young officer in Michel camp called Lieutenant Effah Darteh, who was the best friend of Captain Boachijan and Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. In fact, I joined the military because of Captain Boachijan and Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. They were my top buddies. When I joined the military, by God's grace, I was sent to UK for training. By end of 4th June, burst out. I know Liman took power in the shadow of 4th June. And now they were sniffing out in the military looking for possible Rawlingses, possible Boachijans, possible coup makers. So I was arrested purely on scientific basis. And that is the reason why, in the name of God, truly, and the records show that I was acquitted and discharged by the General Court Martial sitting in a prison yard. I was acquitted and discharged. On the offense of
you any evidence?
No.
No, purely on suspicion, sir. We need your neighbor, Chija, Muye free Burusudia. Then ye boy, and Krabby Effah Darteh, a military Nimwa. And where you know what the a young mobilizing ranch and a barbecue.
And that is what happened.
The better side of Penobre.
Madam.
Captain Sowu, where Captain Krabby Effah Darteh was say a suspicion. Now, also DNA suspicion keke near no venue.
That's what I was telling you that. In the military, when you are being tried by a military tribunal, I want to say this for the... Hello?
Bitiopa.
I want to say this for the edification of all of us. When you are going to be tried by a military tribunal, and the final sentence will be death, they have to do what you call a summary of evidence. After the summary of evidence, which will establish a prima
facie case, yes,
against you, before they send you to the court to be tried. In our case, there was no summary of evidence. There was an abstract of evidence. That was Jekedaku. And I challenged him in court. And I said, if you are trying me by military tribunal, you should go through the proper process. So the tribunal was flawed in the first place because there was no summary of evidence. And then Amika Chao said, it is not everything that you see. If in the press or when the government comes out to say blah, 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 then we all swallow it hook, line, and sinker. And people need to be educated on coup d'etats. What is a coup d'etat? What is the meaning of a coup d'etat? If you do something against the constitution, is it not a coup d'etat? If you offend the constitution and you do things that are not according to the constitution, does that constitute a coup d'etat? When you do something and people die, is it not a coup d'etat? What are we talking about? Let us call a spade, not a long tune.
But Obibeka said, we be inconsistent with the constitution. It is not a total overthrow of the constitution. And for that matter, change legal order be and for a new legal order intend friend coup d'etat. Because you a coup d'etat, that means constitution no amamrano jumano and ne waba wato action. Na waba be di manfo no so not through the means ya sa constitution ne dia to ho ana wodi aba be di manfo no so without the will of the people and no ne friend coup d'etat anambwa.
You are absolutely wrong.
You may have a different position on it, but I know my position is not wrong. You may have a different position.
I prefer. I say, what is the meaning of a coup d'etat? It's a French word, a blow against the state. Who hear me?
Ethiopia.
Me see, what is the meaning of a coup d'etat? The meaning of a coup d'etat is a blow against the state. It's a blow against the state. And America said, if you do something which is against the constitution, it's a blow against the state. Because the constitution is the law that we all do. So if you do something and people die, people are dying, your citizens are dying, is that not a coup d'etat? Is that not a blow against the state? If you are not doing according to the constitution, is it not a blow against the state?
According to the dictionary definition of a coup d'etat, it is a sudden, violent, and unlawful seizure of power from a government. That is a coup. A military coup d'etat brought down the government. That is what a coup d'etat means. Yes, there may be instances which may be inconsistent with certain provisions of a laid down constitution, which is a legal order, the highest legal order. But say ekobase yenyan to say legal order we can only go to the Supreme Court for either interpretation or enforcement as enshrined under Article 2(1) of the Constitution.
Enti abusafo we nyina endurance sama efi High Court by yama enipensia sentenced to death by hanging no and panyifo mienu omo so yabo omo sa kwedu ne bida treason na yeka ho asem se obeyi umayama na wa bo trimu po na se wotu anamon bi se opese wotu aban a wote edwa so fi wo no we die crime so pa ewo amamremu no crime so pa nti sampanyefo mienu aye na omodi nkomo Captain Effah Darteh ɛna afei Captain Sowu ɔmo nyinaa military ex-military personnel so ɔma serve ɔma ne yie paa saa mpanyinfoɔ mmienu yi yɛde saa sobɔ no nyinaa abɔ ɔmo bɛn a ɔmo nyɛ ɔmo tididi mu nti no revelations kakra Captain Sowu ɛyɛ ɛkyerɛ sɛ plan ɔmo plan is ɔmo tu Kwame Nkrumah no ɔnka plan ne ho deɛ nanso cool no du so no wɔno nso ɛde ne ho hyɛ mu bia ɔmo nyinaa ka ho ɛna ɔmo tu Kwame Nkrumah efi adeɛ so nti kakra ɛwɔ hɔ ɛno no saa enipa nsia no kan ɛhyɛ no sɛ wɔn betumi akɔfale ɛwɔ court of appeal anaasɛ appeals court na appeals court nso ahwɛm bɛyɛ afe emu ntem na wahwɛ sɛ aso judgment a high court makie no ne kwan so ano no ana sɛ nyɛ ne kwan so deɛ na ɔmo ahwɛ kwan betumi afa so a ɔmo ɛbɛte ɛyɛ sentence no ɛso nti kakra wɔ hɔ ɛno no yɛde ani deɛ kyɛ de bɛfima babia so no yɛde bɛsomo yɛbɛsrɛ no subscribe my channel so first time ahwɛ ni a na wa like video no na bell ne ba wodon sɛ so sɛ na bia de bibia tompa on sabetimi aka comment section no so wase until we basically akɔ down na woja comment section ɛwɔ hɔ uwia na wa share video no ama yɛsrɛ wo share ne kɔ social media platform so ɛma nyakopɔn kɔ so anka nyina ho ne yɛnkɔ so ambɔ mpae ɛma ɔman Ghana sense ɔman ne di a ɛna yɛbɛdi nyame nka yɛ nyina ho yɛda ase